What's up, guys? It's Crash and a two-part video for you guys today. I want to talk a little bit about how Battlefield 2042 is doing numbers-wise. There's a few things that we can look at to see if players are sticking around. It actually does not look good, as some of you probably already know. And then a lot of people have talked about Vince Zampella and Marcus Leto coming on board. Vince from Respawn Entertainment, Titanfall, Apex Legends, and Marcus coming over from Halo to work on the Battlefield franchise. But I haven't heard a lot about the new general manager who's actually in charge of DICE Stockholm. And I want to talk about her a little bit and her experience, because she's kind of a new face into DICE and EA, and that hasn't really happened before. So I want to take a look at the things that she's worked on, and it might give us some insight if the three of these folks can actually turn this thing around, because as the numbers are going to look here in a second, they aren't good. So let's just get right into it, guys. The Twitch viewership, I'll put that on the screen, has not been good. I've definitely felt this over on my Twitch channel for sure. In the limited amount I'm able to play Battlefield 2042, a lot of the things that they said they fixed, they have not. They just feels like they put them on the patch notes just to make us feel better and didn't actually fix a lot of them. I honestly cannot play the game very long before I get tilted and shut it off, which has been very detrimental for my Twitch channel as well as the YouTube channel, but that's neither here nor there. Let's keep going. If we look at Steam charts, I'm sure a lot of you people have also seen Steam charts. Battlefield 5 is been very close, and he even has overtaken Battlefield 2042 on Steam charts just a couple times at different parts of the day, and they're actually very close right now. Now, we have to understand that the Steam player count is definitely not all of the players. It's only a part of the PC players. It doesn't count PC players on Origin, and it doesn't count the massive amount of people who likely play on console. However, I would argue, or I would state, that 100,000 players that were the concurrent players when the game released is a pretty good sample size and can probably give us a pretty decent trend as to what the player numbers are doing percent wise. We're not going to get the full picture, but I feel like it gives us a pretty good idea of the trend of player counts. Now, one thing I want to do, and I honestly haven't done this yet, I'm going to do it live with you guys. Let's pop over to Google Trends and see how it's doing online searches. So over on Google Trends, let's just go ahead and type in Battlefield 2042. I have not done this yet. Wow. So we can see that right here is when it was revealed. Here was the beta. This was the most, this was the time where it was most search on Google. And then after the beta, it dropped quite a bit. And then this is released. It didn't even get as high as the beta. And then as you guys can see, it kind of follows the rest of the numbers and just kind of fell off a cliff there. Let's compare it to some of the competition that it faced this year with other AAA shooters. We can see that when the Caldera map released, that Warzone took it over. That's a prediction. That's not the drop there, I think, is a prediction. Values are incomplete, so we'll see how that ends up. Looks like Warzone kind of surpassed Battlefield quite a bit there when the new map released, as kind of expected. And now let's look at the other shooter, the Halo franchise. So out of the three AAA shooters that were released this year, Battlefield is definitely at the bottom by a pretty far margin. And I'm not sure if this can or will be turned around. I'm sure the bugs will get worked on and things will get better from a gameplay standpoint. But in my personal opinion, I really don't like a lot of the design decisions in the game. I don't really enjoy the maps, the 128 player count, all that stuff. The specialists I don't enjoy, and a lot of that stuff doesn't feel like Battlefield to me personally. So I don't know if this game is going to totally recover from a player base standpoint. That's just my opinion. But I do believe that they will eventually get the bugs worked out. And let's talk a little bit about who's in charge of that. So Rebecka Coutaz is the new general manager of DICE. And why I think this is significant, this is the first time in a long time someone is in charge of DICE in Sweden that has prior AAA game development experience. A lot of the last couple general managers have come up through the ranks of DICE. Rebecka actually has a lot of experience over at Ubisoft. She also worked at Atari before that, but her main stint at Ubisoft, she helped with a lot of very successful game titles. The first one she worked on was Steep. It's a skiing simulator, so that one's not as important to us. But She also, her team, the teams that she led, worked on the Division 2 and Ghost Recon Breakpoint. And what I thought was interesting about some of the things that they worked on and they were in charge of, they were actually called in to help with the multiplayer experience of the game based on the things that they were good at working on. So the teams that she's led have come in and helped Ubisoft Development Studios with the multiplayer experience of some other successful Tom Clancy shooters. So it's going to be really interesting, in my opinion, to see how someone with some different experience, prior AAA shooter experience, multiplayer shooter experience, is going to do with DICE. And a lot of things that she talked about, she was very strong with, was management and getting people to work together and leadership. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out and if the Battlefield franchise can recover from a player-based standpoint. Again, overall, guys, I think the game's going to get there. All the bugs and kinks are going to probably get worked out in several months to a year's time, and the game's going to be working okay. Will it be enough to bring the players back? I kind of doubt it. In my opinion, I feel like we're going to have the same thing as Battlefield 5, where just the core group of hardcore fans are going to be the only ones remaining. It's not really going to get that mainstream appeal and pop off. The only thing that I could see possibly maybe doing that is if they do release a free-to-play battle royale in the spring, and with things working out like the way they are, that would not surprise me. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to talk about some things that were on my mind, show you guys the numbers, how they're not really looking that great for 2042, and also talk about Rebecka Coutaz, see if she can turn this thing around, because it's going to be interesting to see how someone with prior AAA experience is going to do at DICE. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If someone hasn't told you today, you're awesome, and I appreciate you. Yeah, we'll see you on the next one.